Hey everybody, welcome back to another recap video. Today just going to be talking about the trades that I took and a bit about the overall market, which was a little rough today. So yeah, starting off the day, we had GCT, which was the IPO from yesterday, a Hong Kong-based company that was up pre-market and ended up going absolutely parabolic on the second move here. So I'll get to that move in just a second. But yeah, overall today the market was pretty tough. The Nasdaq, the SPYs, the major indices were all down pre-market. Everything on my watch list was pretty much red, so that's never good to see for overall market sentiment. So this was a bit of a surprise. But yeah, nothing else to report, to be honest, other than the trades that I took on GCT. The only other one that I traded briefly was VLCN, but I really wanted this one to reclaim VWAP and consolidate and actually, hold and be strong, but it wouldn't. It tried 4 times and ended up ending with this really high volume false breakout candle here. So that wasn't a lot of fun. I took a few trades on it. I think I was pretty much break even. The other one was APDN. This one had some news break here in the morning around 10 o'clock. It was just some headline about monkeypox. That's why I ended up jumping. It was that they were going to start trying to develop a test kit for it or something along those lines. It wasn't vaccine related. But this gave some decent opportunity. I took a couple trades on it. I ended up getting green, but they were just all small little winners. It was a little bit wicky. It wasn't the best. It wasn't very strong, and you could tell that the market sentiment was kind of impacting how this one was trading. But then GCT. So yeah, this one this is where I made my money on today. So I'm green 137. But I left a lot on the table, to be quite honest. Not to mention that this second move I wasn't here for. And I'm not going to be able to be here for a power hour. That's why I'm quickly going to do my recap and then I'm going to get out of here. But yeah, this morning it was pretty crazy to see. So it's low float. I think they debuted with about 3 million outstanding shares to buy up. But yeah, it was a bit of a false breakout off of the open here, where we had this wick up to the top to this pre-market level. It broke past it, but then flushed, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I mean, everything's selling off, and then buyers came in, and it popped. Before I knew it, it was halted. I didn't end up trading it at all here. It was halted at $29 a share. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this thing looks strong. So on the second halt, I was looking for a dip and rip, where we open higher or maybe flat, depending on how volume looks. If it dips, that's where I want to buy in for the next move higher. But when this opened, it went to from 29 to 30, and from 30 it was gone, and I was like, oh shoot, totally missed it. So for now here, it's second halt, and I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to look for the dip and rip again, but I'm going to keep in mind what happened yesterday. Yesterday I took a big loss on a halt, a stock that was halted up, because it resumed higher, dipped. I bought in, and then it dipped about where it halted at, even a little bit lower. I sold for a loss, thinking it was going to flush, and then that was the bottom of it, and it ended up providing a really nice trade that I took a pretty big loss on. So I was trying to keep that in mind today. So when this opened, it dipped, and all things considered, did a very nice dip and rip. It opened, it went up a little bit, and then dipped here, and that should have been where I bought in, but I had that in the back of my mind from yesterday that I was thinking it was going to be a 2-layer dip, but it wasn't, and it got, and this snapped from 34 to 38 like that. It was very quick. So I'm like, man, that was $5 a share that, it's left on the table. And then here was third halt, and usually at the third halt, if I am trading, I cut way back on share size, or I'll just tend to leave it alone, because this gets pretty extended now here. I mean, sometimes we'll get stocks that'll halt up, for we've seen a couple of them that go to basically $100 on halts, and then they'll come back down. So, but those I usually am just watching from the sidelines, cheering on people who are in it, but I usually don't want to get involved. But yeah, with this, I didn't end up trading this first move, so I left it on the table. And then on the second leg up here, when we had this halt up from this big sell here, I started taking some trades in here, and I had 4 really nice, I had one really nice dip trade off of this level here, And then I had another really nice breakout trade that got me $1 a share here. So I had two shares that were about $1 a share winners. But granted, I was just a bit concerned with this one because it was tricky. We had a lot of range, so I was trading about half share size that I would have. Usually, I would have liked to take about 100 shares on this price of a stock, but I took 50. So, I mean, yes, I could have had a bigger green day, but it also could have, escalated losses. So I was just trying to nip that in the bud, so to speak, before it even happened. So yeah, all in all, great day. It was green 137, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this move because I didn't participate, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, this is its second day on the market, so we'll see how it ends up looking through Power Hour, and I'll be very curious to come back here on Monday morning. So yeah, everyone stay green, have a good weekend, and I'll be back for another recap after Monday's trading.